So that's what I'm talking about now. It's not a huge amount of capital. It's not chump change either. I know that some of you out there, 20, 25 grand would be a decent amount of money. But the reality is you're talking about 15 to 30 grand to launch these events. And I've got a blueprint for this, which is rock solid. My events that I'm planning right now are going to be somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people registered for the event, with a likely attendance between 200 and 250 people, maybe even 300 people, okay? And I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. Now, later on this year, I'm going to go after some bigger events, do some events with maybe 500 people or more, okay? And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. The way to take this on, the way to do this is to basically create a big front end. Now, what is a front end, okay? Let me discuss with you front end versus back end. Front end are the things that you want people to do, to buy before. They're the initial things you want people to buy. So there's CDs and softwares, anything that's free, webinars, consumer products, books, anything that they buy in the front end is the first purchase with you, the first or second purchase with you, okay? So, for example, in the free event is the front end. The event that is being sold at the free event, that is a front end product. There are back-end products that come after the first one or two sales. So the back-end products is where the big money is. There's big money in back-end seminars. There's big money in insurance programs, consulting, mortgages, real estate properties, coaching, masterminds, mentoring, done-for-you programs, softwares, other programs, area-exclusive programs, business opportunity programs, franchises. The list goes on and on and on of back-end programs that people that have bought or attended some of these things here can buy. Now, you guys have probably participated in some of these things. Would it be surprising for you to know that I've spent over $200,000 in my own education? I have 4 bookcases full of products, literally 4 bookcases that I have bought from seminars. I've joined mentoring programs. I've joined mastermind programs. I've joined CEO clubs. I've bought softwares. I've bought courses galore. In fact, some of my courses are so obsolete that I had to throw them out. I have internet courses from 4 or 5 years ago. How much do you think a course on the internet 4 or 5 years ago would be worth? Okay, you probably guessed it. Not very much. A lot of things have changed in 4 or 5 years, hasn't it? I had to literally, when I moved a couple of years ago, I had to figure out what courses I'm going to keep, what courses I'm going to throw out. Okay. The point is, why am I telling you this? It's because I have become successful because I have been willing to go out there and learn the information and get it and grow. And like I said, there's a reason why these seminars are successful. It's because successful people are in them. Okay, these are just some of the pictures of the people that I hang out with and I talk to all the time. Some of these pictures you'll recognize. Sometimes we hang out at events. Sometimes we talk on the phone. Sometimes we text. Sometimes we meet each other at events, at other clubs, other masterminds. Okay, but the bottom line is this business is great because you get an interface with really incredible people. Okay, and it's fun to interface with these incredible people. Okay, now I'm going to unveil to you kind of the direction I'm heading because this is an awesome, incredible, once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity for some of you here. This will not be for everyone, but for those of you that get what I'm saying, we're launching a very big seminar division, and we're going from city to city across 27 cities. Okay, we're going to start in Washington, D.C., and then we're going on to New York or Chicago, and then we're going to other cities from there. I'm launching a couple new brands. One of the brands is called PartTime7Figures.com. It's very much focused on how do you create a business that makes 7 figures. When I say make 7 figures, does 7 figures in income, but also gives you the lifestyle that you want. It's great if you can make 7 figures and work 80 hours a week, but I don't think anybody here really wants that business. Okay? Do you want to lose your spouse and your family and alienate everyone in your world, all your friends, because you are a workaholic and you never spend any time with anyone, quality relationships? Of course, nobody wants that. Okay? Everyone wants to learn how to do part-time 7 figures. Then we're launching a series of events, 7-figure wealth blueprints. What I realized and what I figured out is that many people know how to do things, whether it's real estate, internet, stock investing, becoming a best-selling author, et cetera, et cetera. There's many people that know how to do some things in these areas to make a little bit of money, but they lack the knowledge on how to take it to a 7-figure business. Now, once you get to 9 million, that's the top of 7 figures. Okay, we'll hand you off to some other company, but until you get to 9 million, you're working with us because we can teach you how to take it from wherever you're at right now and turn it into $1 million, $2 million business. I could do that with pretty much any business as long as the product and service is good. How would I do that? It's very simple. Seminars, webinars, okay? Start building a huge following. And I've got some things up my sleeve now. I'm going to show you about how I'm doing this, okay? But this brand looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Seven-figure Wealth Blueprint live event, exposing the secrets of everyday millionaires, okay? Our event is actually going to be 11th and 12th of June in D.C., and then we're rolling from D.C. on to other cities. But we're launching these events in your area, eventually in your area, but basically the way we're deciding what areas we're going to go to is wherever we have apprentices that want to work with us in this capacity to build a big, huge list, to be a rock star amongst their peers, and make lots of money. So I'm going to explain how that will work in just a second. But here are the blueprints: seven-figure internet blueprint, seven-figure real estate blueprint, seven-figure retirement planning blueprint, seven-figure New York Times bestseller blueprint, seven-figure stock portfolio blueprints, and it goes on and on and on. There's investing for dummies, right? There's all these books for dummies, but there's no book on how to build to a seven-figure business. Isn't that crazy? People want to start something, and then they get started with something. They have no idea what the blueprint is to take it to a really successful business. Well, that's where we come in, okay? Now, the way this event works is there's a free two-day event, although it may expand to 3 days. Now, that 2-day event, guess what is sold at that 2-day event? Surprise, there's a 4-day event. We can't teach them everything they need to know in 2 days. They're going to need more information from us. They're going to need more training. So they're going to be sold into a 4-day internet event. Then they're going to be sold into a 4-day real estate event. And they can choose whichever path they want to, 4-day internet or 4-day real estate, okay? Now, here's the secret sauce that I figured out and why working with me has become extremely lucrative for you. I have triangulated my way to 2 or 3 organizations that fill events for very large seminars companies. So have you heard of Dean Graziosi? Have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Have you heard of Robert Allen? Well, I know the groups that fill all their events, and I have access to a 20 million person database of business opportunity seekers, investors, real estate people interested in making money online, interested in making money in their own business, okay? And I have relationships with some of the biggest lead generation firms out there who generate a lot of these kind of leads. And I've got a relationship under contract with them to put people in at $20 per registration. So for about $10,000, I can put 500 people in my event. I can then get another 200 or 300 people or more from joint ventures with other gurus and people that I know, plus people from our own database. So our event's going to have somewhere between 700, 800, maybe even 900 or 1,000 registrations at the event. So, and I'll explain to you how the numbers work here in a second. But long story short is this is some serious people, some serious momentum. And we're going to be taking our event, our 200, 300 person event in D.C., and then rolling it across the country. And what I'm looking for are apprentices that want to launch this with me, that want to help me recruit sponsors, that want to make a percentage of the revenue. I'm going to let you be in this system until your money is doubled, but most importantly, you're going to be the area director in that area to actually help us, not only help us, but help you build a whole big list of people in that local area and be the area director for Seven-Figure Blueprints in PartTimeSevenFigures.com. Okay, these people are already on board. I can actually put more people on here, but I just ran out of time and I couldn't put them on. You know, Bill Walsh, Ross Hamilton has 30,000 monthly paying members. Greg Reed is who's the writer of the book 3 Feet from Gold, which was the first book published by Barnes & Noble, and it was the follow-up to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. That was Greg Reed. Lance Hood, he has a website, greatestlivingsuccesscoaches.com. Joel Bowers, a speaking empire. Larry Goins is real estate. Dustin Matthews, business credit infusion. David Day, my partner in private money. And the list goes on. Matt Morris, I just got off the line with Matt Morris. Matt Morris, I think I told you, $20 million company he built, Success University, leveraged to 100,000 people in his database, and then sold the company and now just travels and does whatever he wants. Long story short is, when you're in the business of doing webinars and seminars, you have what's called relationship capital. You can never underestimate the value of relationship capital. I can get 6-figure paydays, if not 5 or 6-figure paydays, that happen to me, happen for me pretty easily. Why? Because I built relationship capital. I can call in favors and support when I need it. Okay, now here's what I'm looking to do with the select few of you who actually want to do this. Okay, I've started a apprentice program, but it's not just an apprentice program, it's a partner program. You're going to join my inner circle of people that are extremely knowledgeable about how to put on live events, okay? And I'm going to give you behind-the-scenes information about how I'm doing everything that I'm doing. And I'm going to explain that to you in a second. I'm going to work with you until your profits are doubled, okay? And I'll explain how that works in a second. So this program, I'm not going to be counting on you to know a whole heck of a lot. Our team will do most of the work. However, your job is to be actively involved in our program and basically help out where you can, okay? And then number 3, build a 7-figure business with people truly helping people. Okay, so the first thing I want to expose you to, profit sharing. Everyone that comes in this program is going to get profit sharing from the events in their local area. So for each $5,000 investment, you're going to get 5% from the gross sales of the event. I'm going to explain how that's going to work in just a second. We're going to do an event in your area. Right now, we're doing events in D.C., New York, and Chicago. And we are looking at a couple other areas, okay, San Antonio, Dallas, Denver, things like that, okay? But basically, the areas we're going to go to are going to depend on the apprentices that signed up. So wherever you're at, if you end up being in this program, we're going to come to your area or an area nearby you, okay? So the event cost is $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, okay? If your investment is $5,000 and we do $50,000 in sales, you get $2,500. If we do $100,000 in sales, you get your $5,000 returned to you. Now, that's not how I'm going to show you how to make money, okay? And by the way, if you want to get into this and start talking to me about this, 7-figure seminars at gmail.com. But I'm going to keep explaining this to you. That's not how you're going to make a ton of money. That's just how you're going to get some of your investment back. Here's how I'm going to double your money. Here's how I'm going to make your money rock and roll, okay? Each 5K investment gives you 5% to the products and services on the back-end events. Remember how I told you how they're going to bring them into a free event for 2 or 3 days? Then we're going to sell them into an internet event. Then we're going to sell them into a real estate event. Then we're going to sell them properties. And then we're going to sell them into life insurance products, retirement planning products. And we're going to sell them New York Times best-selling stuff. You follow what I'm saying? So there's lots of different ways that you can make money from these events. Well, I'm going to pay you 5% of those until your money is returned up to $10,000. Okay? But more importantly than that, we're starting to build you up as a rock star, as a person in your area, because you're going to be the area director of 7-Figure Wealth Blueprints. So you're going to now start to be a rock star in your area, and that's one of the things that I'll definitely tell you will be something we need to focus on in this event. You know, when I earned a couple real estate clubs back a few years ago, and you know, when I would go to the real estate club, people would be like, "Oh, it's Todd, oh, it's Todd." That's all great. If I go to a real estate club now, I have like 100 people thronging me. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's Todd. Wow, I can't believe he would spend time and come and visit us. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that to just stroke my ego. I'm just saying that's kind of the way it is, because people see me at another level of success now. They don't see me at the same level of success as they saw me when I owned that club. I've moved on. I've moved up in the world, and I've done things that are amazing, you know. But anyway,